Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill Vertical Bar Summary. How can you turn your exciting idea into money? What's more important, to know a lot or to act at the right time? What single quality distinguishes the most successful people on the planet? This is a summary of the world bestseller Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. For 20 years, Napoleon Hill interviewed 500 of the most successful people of his time, including Henry Ford, Theodore Roosevelt, Thomas Edison, John D. Rockefeller, Alexander Bell. As a result, this book was created, and a self-development system that helps you succeed in any business. You could say Napoleon Hill's ideas form the basis for many modern courses and trainings. Are you ready to see the big picture? Insight 1. Activate different parts of your brain using 3 main tools. The subconscious, which cannot be controlled but records everything around, is an important part of the self-development process, along with the conscious part, the mind. The enormous power of the subconscious is primarily related to emotions. It doesn't matter what emotions it works with, positive or negative. Only you can turn negative emotions into positive ones and make your life better. Napoleon Hill offers 3 relatively simple tools to activate both the subconscious and the mind. The first tool is imagination. This is where any transformation in our heads begins. Everything humanity has achieved over thousands of years exists thanks to imagination. While some say that's impossible, others create something new and useful. Hill singles out synthetic imagination, limited by frameworks, at least time and budget. It is like a Lego designer kit. We have a set of familiar, understandable pieces that we can combine to create something new. The second type of imagination is creative. It helps to create what didn't exist before, or bring products to a qualitatively new level, and is usually unlimited. Most musicians, artists, entrepreneurs you know have succeeded thanks to creativity. The second tool is self-suggestion. At every step, it is important to convince yourself, or rather your subconscious, of something. Self-suggestion is what allows the right thoughts to penetrate the subconscious. Self-suggestion is largely based on the practice of affirmations, the conscious repetition of positive statements. At the same time, it is important to remember, the words you repeat should evoke pleasant emotions. Repeating statements that are meaningless to you is useless. To focus on the right thoughts, surround yourself only with useful information, displacing useless information like weeds. The same applies to choosing company. The third tool is self-analysis. It is necessary for working with the mind. Usually schemas, tables, and simple questions are used, which it is important to answer honestly. We will return to each of the tools again. Insight. 2. Separate desire from dream to move on to action. Napoleon Hill suggests starting your journey with desire. Moreover, not a simple one, but a burning desire, capable of overcoming dependence on other people's opinions and the limitations of the mind. But you still have to get to desire. First, imagination forms our dreams about the future. They are wonderful, but don't help us act. To separate desire from dream, use self-analysis. For example, write down 5 of your wants and ask yourself, is this a dream or a desire? Will you be able to get this in a year or 10 years without changing anything in your life? If even after 10 years you won't get this, then it's just an abstract dream. But if you realize that in 3 years you can get closer to achieving it, then you already have a desire. It is no less important to ask yourself, and why do I want this? What is it for, and how can it help me? Okay, you have a desire and an idea that you are passionate about. How do you turn desire into money? Start with the exact amount you want to earn. Decide what you are willing to give up for your goal. Some give up entertainment, and some even family. Set a reasonable deadline. Think over the stages of the plan to achieve the goal and, most importantly, immediately start executing it. Your first step should be simple and clear. Be sure to write down everything listed on paper. Read what you wrote aloud in the morning and evening. Visualize not only the result itself, but also the path to it. Turn your desire into an obsessive idea. Insight 3. Strengthen your self-belief so as not to be afraid to act. Faith is necessary to move from words to actions. It doesn't matter how detailed you plan if you don't actually do anything. For the brain, there is no difference between reality and fiction. Therefore, faith can result in both poverty and wealth. Do you believe that you can earn $1 million or invent a cure for cancer? If not, it is pointless to set such goals. Start with a small result that you believe you can achieve. What happens when faith is insufficient? Ronald Wayne, co-founder of Apple, believed in the company's success, but did not believe that he could cope with the inevitable problems of development. He sold his shares in 1976 for $800. Today, those shares would be worth $100 billion. In the case of faith, no rationality will help. You just have to believe. Therefore, Hill advises influencing the subconscious through self-suggestion. Convince yourself that you already have what you want to achieve. Be sure to rely on specific positive emotions. How will you feel when you have already achieved your goal? Charge yourself with this state. Keep the desire in your head. Make it part of every day. Insight 4. Only acquire knowledge that you can apply in your business. Henry Ford graduated only 6 grades of school. Thomas Edison even less. Steve Jobs dropped out of college after 6 months. Of course, you don't have to do the same. It all depends on your priorities. But these people, like many others, were still not stupid and succeeded, as evidenced by money and recognition. The truth is that knowing does not equal doing. Most people are constantly studying something. Although it is more important to understand why you are learning and how knowledge will bring you closer to your goal. That is, self-analysis is involved again. Develop a learning plan to gain the knowledge you lack in order to move forward. Delve into your niche and don't get distracted by everything. Insight 5. Don't get carried away with planning and learn to make decisions quickly. Planning is important throughout your journey. Break your goal down into tasks and subtasks so that you don't think about them in the process, but immediately perform them. If something goes against the plan, that's normal. Real actions are always accompanied by mistakes. The main thing is to analyze them so as not to repeat them. The next step is implementing the plan. Successful people make decisions quickly, but at the same time, if necessary, they change it reluctantly, slowly and carefully considering each step. People who fail, on the contrary, delay making a decision, and then often and quickly change them in the process. To make decisions quickly and correctly, you will need solid personal principles that you can rely on in any situation. Also, be sure to listen to the opinions of others, but make the decision yourself. Insight 6. Develop persistence so as not to succumb to momentary weaknesses. Most people give up their goals as soon as they encounter difficulties, but persistence, which is based on willpower, is what distinguishes the most successful people from everyone else. Muhammad Ali, one of the most famous boxers in the world, admitted, "I hated every minute of training, but I told myself, don't quit, suffer now, and live the rest of your life as a champion." What contributes to persistence? A concrete, measurable, achievable, desirable goal with a time limit, a thought-out and clear action plan, the ability to resist negative influence from acquaintances or relatives, a group of like-minded people who believe in you and support you. Insight 7. Use the Mastermind group as a driving force. The Mastermind group, or collective mind, is those very like-minded people that you can unite and organize for joint creativity. There don't have to be many of them. This is confirmed by the experience of the founders of major modern companies. Bill Gates, Steve Jobs, Larry Page, and Jack Ma started with a few of their friends. The economic benefit of the Mastermind group is obvious. Joint efforts lead to the desired results faster and increase revenues. And the psychological benefit is support and a synergistic effect when together you create more outstanding solutions than individually. Insight 8. Redirect sexual energy. In youth, most people spend sexual energy on the sexual act itself, and only at 40, 50 do they begin to achieve something, realizing that the excess of this energy, which is always there, can be turned into success. Emotions associated with sexual desire our brain perceives most easily. Only you decide where to direct this energy. Even in youth, you can achieve more if you properly manage it. Insight 9. Listen to your sixth sense. The sixth sense can be considered inspiration, intuition, and much more. This is your guardian angel in a constantly changing world. To enhance the influence of the sixth sense, Napoleon Hill advises making maximum use of imagination. If something is missing, for example, the ability to get up early, make decisions quickly, or a seemingly unsolvable question simply arises, refer to the experience of successful people you know a lot about. How to develop discipline. Orient yourself to the mindset of someone who is a master in this. For example, the great commander Alexander Suvorov. How to cope with an innovative task. Imagine how Elon Musk would think and act. And are you doing everything listed? Maybe something is still missing? Share this in the video comments and tell us how you like the ideas of the book.